So in EIGRP, we got 5 different type of stub. One is stub connected. When we say stub connected, it advertises only the connected networks. For example,
Okay.
on R2, router EIGRP, I think I gave 100. Do show IP protocol. Yeah, I have given 100. When I say router EIGRP 100, EIGRP stub connected. When I say stub connected, you see the resync happens. There's a new policy in syncing in advertising. As a result, R1 advertises show IP route EIGRP. You can see from router 2 you are learning the connected networks. 2222 is one of the connected networks, and 24 is another connected network. I think I need to troubleshoot something here. From router 3 I'm not learning 3333. Let's go and check why. Router 3 show IP EIGRP interfaces. Aha, there's no EIGRP running on R3. Show IP interface brief. There is IP address, but there's no EIGRP router. EIGRP 100 networks 3 and 13. Okay, we got the neighbor now. I'm expecting 3333. Okay, but we have not configured stub on router 3. So if you will have some networks learned from somewhere, even that network will be advertised. I don't have any router behind router 3. Like you have router 4 behind router 2. I don't have
Correct.
any other network, any other router. That's why I'm not learning here. So there's no stub on R3. And I feel that there is no need for stub in R3, so I am not configuring. See, depending on your environment, you decide what stub to configure. For this environment, where R2 connects to R4, assume R4 connects to many other routers, the depth of topology is too big, and when there is change, always there is an impact. To control, I'm configuring stub on router 2. So that router 2 will send a special peer message. As a result, R1 will not query those networks which R2 cannot reach. So let's say behind R2, all the networks are same but subnetted. Then I would have done some summarization on R2 like this. If you see here, show IP route EIGRP, you got a summary route here for all 10 networks. So assume that behind the R2 in the real world, we will have same network of different subnets. We will not have this 24, we'll have something starting with 10. And we have summarized. So we want to take ownership only for those networks that begins with 10. So what I simply do is I go and say router EIGRP 10, EIGRP stub summary. Now I'm not going to hit enter now. I'm not going to hit enter. Let me go and see what we see by default. By default, we see the redistributed route. There is a network on R4 for which we have written a static route on R2 and redistributed. We also see 22222, which is a connected network to R2. We also see 4, okay, that is redistributed. We also see the summarized 10 network. summarized 10 network. We also see 24, which is in between router 2 and router 4. So what do we see here? We see both the connected as well as the summary coming from router 2. But if I say no, I do not want to see the connected, I just want to know the summary. Simple. Hit enter here. EIGRP Stub summary. So what I'm expecting now is only this one. Only this one from router 2. From 12.0.0.2, I'll see only this one. And from 13.0.0.3, I'll see this. See? So we see only the summary, not because we said I want to see only the summary. I want to give only the summary. So it is given only the summary. Router 2 has given only the summary. Okay, next is the third type is simply stub. When you simply say stub, it will advertise both connected and the summary. Let's say that EIGRP stub only. Just stub. So this is now going to advertise the connected and the summary. So if there will be any network advertised from R4 which is not summarized, it won't come here. For example, on R4, I'm going to add another interface. And I'll say router EIGRP 100, network is 44. You will not receive it. You will not receive it because 44, we have not done summarization. So this is supposed to show only if there is a summary and connected. But the 44 will be available there on R2. But R2 is not ready to advertise. See, this 44 is available in R2, but R2 will not advertise it on R1 because we have said stub. Stub will advertise only the summary and so in R1 you don't see 44 because 44 is not summarized. Let us do summarization for 44. I'm on R2, I will do summarization on interface G3/0 IP summary address for EIGRP100. I want to summarize that 44 network to /16. By default it is 32. I'm saying /16. Okay. I have done summarization. I want to see whether it is summarizing it. Show IP route. I will see a summary. Yes, it is summarized. It has got a summary route calling routes null. I'm expecting this to be in R1 now. I think I made a mistake. It is summarized. I will remove this once. I'm getting the summary. I'm getting summary. Summarized one. and the redistributed one and the connected one. Now let us go and do it again. EIGRP Stub. Now it is good. So we got the 44 because we have summarized it is coming here. If I remove the summarization, this should disappear, right? Let's see. I'll remove the summarization interface G3 slide, sorry, 3 slide 0. All right. Yeah, 44 is gone because I just removed the summarization. I just removed only the summarization. I did not remove the EIGRP. I removed only the summary. So this is the second one. What is the third one? Third one is substatic. Sorry, fourth one. This is fourth one we are going to see. First one, stub connected. Second one, stub summary. Third one, simply stub, which means the combination of the first two, both the connected and summary. And then the fourth one is stub static, meaning if you will have any static route, we don't see any static route coming here. In router 2 we have a static route actually, and we got those redistribution command for that network. If you see on router 2, show run router spelling wrong. You see, we have the redistribution command, redistribute static, but it is not getting advertised because we have stub EIGRP stub configured. If you configure EIGRP stub, it enables automatically the connected and the summary. Okay, so only the connected and summary is supposed to be advertised. That's why it is not advertising this redistributor network. So if in your real world you want this, I do not want to advertise the redistributed networks, then you can go for this option. But let us assume I want only to advertise the redistributed network, nothing else. I do not want to advertise connected. I also do not want to advertise the summary. I want to advertise only the redistributed. Then what should I do? Very simple. Router EIGRP 100. I'll remove this EIGRP stub. Instead, I'll say EIGRP stub static. So that particular static route which I have redistributed, you see there's a static route. Only this will be advertised to router 1. Let's go and check. See, only that external redistributed route you see in the routing table. What is next? Next is the last one is stub receive only. What is stub receive only? Am I learning 13 network? I do. Means I am receiving 13 from router 1. Am I learning 3333? Yes, I do. Am I learning 13 from router 1? Yes, I do. Which means we are learning. At the same time, we are giving. That is why you got this from router 2. Router 2 is giving. Now, what I'm going to say, no, don't give anything. Learn as usual from R1, but don't give anything to R1. Not only to R1, to any EIGRP neighbor. Do not give, but get. Learn from others, but you don't advertise anything. So if you want R2, not to advertise anything, but to learn the roots from R1, then you may go for this. If you don't learn, then how you will reach 3333? You will have a default route or something configured. With that, you can reach. So let us now go and verify. You see, after I do changes here, you'll see a lot of changes in R1 and R3. They will not learn any roots from R2. Right now, before I do that, I'll go and show you in R3, show IP route, EIGRP. I'm learning this one from R1, because R1 learns it from R2. When I remove the stub that I configured currently, I'll be learning, when I remove this, in R3, I'll be learning a lot of networks. Wait, yes, a lot of networks are coming from R2 via R1. From R2 via R1, we have learned a lot of networks. But when I go to R2 and say EIGRP stub receive only, receive. When I say receive only, both in R1 and R2, you don't see any routes from R2. R1 and R2. Even in R3, you see, all gone. You are learning these two because these two are from R1, connected to R1. R2 is not giving anything to R1. As I said, R1 cannot give anything to R3. R1 is not learning anything from R, learns nothing from R. But if you go and check in R4 and R2, you will see every roots because R2 is not giving, but it takes. You see, show IP route, EIGRP. You see, you got all the roots from. You got both from router 4 as well as from router 1. R2 is not giving, but it gets. So if you need this option, you may go for it. When you enable this, you need not to get stuck in active. Stuck in active will spoil the network. EIGRP query process stuck in active. The router has to get all the replies from the neighbor with an outstanding query before the route calculation successor information. Calculates the successful information. So what I was telling earlier is, if one route responds with the reply for the query, that's not sufficient. It will wait for all other routers so that it can compare the replies and take the best one. if router D got some connection to this network, if router D says I can take you to that network, B cannot use it immediately because it has already queried C and E. It will wait for C and E also to reply, which is not going to happen because C and E are no way connected to the network. As a result, what happens is it gets stuck in active. If the neighbor fails to reply the query within 3 minutes, by default, the route is stuck in active. So after 3 minutes, it decides that the route is not going to come. It got stuck somewhere. It's stuck in the active state. Active means what? It's still waiting for the update. It is not having the valid route. It is looking for a valid route. So in 3 minutes, if query's reply is not coming, the router resets the neighbor relationship itself. That's the problem here. If the router resets a neighbor, the impact will be all over the network. Everywhere the trigger update will go and say this neighbor is down, all the network given by this neighbor is no more valid. But actually the neighbor is not bad. The neighbor cannot respond, that's all. Cannot reply to the query because the neighbor don't have the answer. But EIGRP, in order to use the route given by D, it has to reset all the neighbor that fails to reply the query. That is what here they are explaining. So before you enable the stub, the query used to go, and then if the reply didn't come, then the neighborship will get discarded. But now the stuck in active immediately responds. If anyone queries, it immediately responds. Because the one who queries will not query the one which this guy do not know. It's going to query only those things that this guy will know. As a response, immediate reply will be there. So there is no need for stuck in active. Okay, in the olden EIGRP version, this is even seen in a goodbye message. We call it as graceful shutdown. What is it? When a router goes down, or more than when a router goes down, I should say successor. B is the successor to reach a network, let's say 1.1.1. A reaches 1.1.1 via B. B is the successor of 1.1.1.1. Now, when 1.1.1.1 is unreachable for B, it sends a goodbye message for that network 1.1.1.1. It tells to router 2, hey router 2, sorry, it sends to router A, 1.1.1.1 is a goodbye. Meaning, I cannot take you anymore to 1.1.1.1. So that router A can immediately find another path. See, there is another path, feasible successor via C. So C will become a successor immediately. As soon as it receives the goodbye message, E will swap the path. Now, what is this goodbye message? That's the last information about 1.1.1.1 sent by RB. RB sends a message saying 1.1.1.1 is no more. How it will send this message? How it looks like? When you capture a goodbye message, what you will see there? For all k values, you will find 255. What is k values? What is k value? EIGRP metric parameters, no? They are k values. K1, K2, K3, K4, K5, you remember? K1 is bandwidth, K2 is load, K3 is delay, K4 is reliability, K5 is MTU. Now, usually we multiply bandwidth by 1 and delay by 1. All the rest are multiplied by 0. Now, what this will do when a path breaks, when B understands that 111 is no more reachable, it immediately sends goodbye message by putting all k values 255. 255 load multiplied by 255 is very bad metric. Delay multiplied by 255 is very bad delay. All 255 times multiplied. And this is what will be sent as a goodbye message. So as soon as A finds 255, 255, 255 for all k values, then it understands that the network is no more available via B. And this is what we call it as graceful shutdown or the goodbye message. All right, the last packet. So what we have seen is EIGRP, the complete stub, and then the goodbye message. I think that's all about EIGRP. This is the entire module summary.
After with this, we are finishing, sir. EIGRP.
No. So this is what we were having as EIGRP for the older version. For older version of EIGRP, it is complete. In the newer version, we have some additional features are same. The approach, a new approach you will see. Instead of autonomous system number, you can give a name here, like a process ID, and you have an option of configuring autonomous system inside. There are various new things that got added, the new approach in EIGRP, which we'll be seeing in the next class.